the personalization of offers. What is AI actually doing to personalize the offers? Because I'm sure you get a lot of objections to it.
You can play once a day, but with very long session. Me in the same game several times per day with the short session. The level of our engagement can be absolutely different. Interaction with the game can say a lot about the player and about the monetization potential for this player.
Today's guest is Kseniia Maiboroda, is the founder of Elevatix, essentially building custom offers for players using AI. What are people complicating or overcomplicating when it comes to AI?
If we are talking about the mobile gaming industry, it's really complicated because the technical stack of the people who are doing mobile games are really different from the technical stack that you need to implement AI and ML. That's it.
Is there anything you're seeing as a pattern in the ones that are arcade games?
If you are talking seriously about that,
welcome everyone to the Gaming Playbook. Today's guest is Kseniia Maiboroda, is the founder of Elevatix, which is a first-in-class AI engine for mobile games in-app purchase monetization, essentially building custom offers for players using AI, and also the former product owner and board member at Playtika, a lot of product manager experience with an incredible story which we'll get into. So for everyone at home, we're going to cover a bit about the founder story because I'm very interested because founding the business in the way you've done it, I want to share some lessons there, but also about AI in mobile games because I think it's an interesting topic. So I want to start, if you could take me back to day one of launching Elevatix. What was that like? Like, why did you launch Elevatix? What is Elevatix actually? We could start with that question. What is Elevatix?
yeah. So just in a nutshell, what we are doing, we help to mobile games to make from the cool game the great business. You know, it's in a nutshell. We help to boost the revenue with the artificial intelligence. And basically, my story would not be about the some great success of the business because it wasn't my dream. You know, I had the great career and I really love it. I love the companies where I worked. But one day it comes that my technical background that is like really mature because I'm software developer. It's my educational. I have degree in computer science. Then I worked a lot with the business intelligence, with the data, big data analysis. Then I worked 7 years in mobile gaming industry, and it comes to the point where I have like huge technical background. I know really well the mobile gaming industry, not just from development side, but from the business side as well. And combinations of all these factors come to the place where I decided, okay, if I have everything to create the solution that will address the problems that we currently have with monetization in mobile games, why not? So I'm really like good in the technical side. I am technical engineer, so I can create all algorithms by myself. And I really know the pain points that we can cover. I really know how we can boost business. Doesn't matter about about the business side. I mean, it's like huge company or it's just indie developer studio. So it was just like, you know, I decided, okay, I can bring value, and I really want to do that to make really helpful solution that will be accessible for everyone. You know, to open this door of the high tech and very complex things to everyone in mobile gaming industry. So yeah, it was my goal. So it wasn't like a long way when I dreamed to be entrepreneur or something like that. No, it's just, you know, the combination of factors, and I decided, okay, so I see this way, I will go.
Awesome. Amazing. So for people listening at home, like what are people complicating or overcomplicating when it comes to AI? Because I feel like a lot of people have an idea of what it is, but then they actually don't know what it is in practice. So what are developers overcomplicating when it comes to AI?
You know, if you are talking seriously about that, I cannot say it's very complicated from the technical perspective because we have on the market a lot of great engineers now who are really good in the machine learning, in AI and LLM and so on and so on. But if we're talking about the mobile gaming industry, it's really complicated because the technical stack of the people who are doing mobile games are really different from the technical stack that you need to implement AI and ML. That's it. It's not about the complexity and about the, let's say, background level or some, you know, experience with that. It's just the different technical stack, absolutely different. And because of that, it's difficult to get it for mobile games. Because if you are a Unity developer, for example, and you're doing cool games, it's not easy for you to sit and do machine learning because like it's the same if I will ask you, for example, to do, I don't know, boxing, you know, tomorrow with the top level professionals on the market. It's just different stack, you know, different domain. uh, if to talk in the, in a nutshell, in the two words about what is AI, especially for the mobile games and especially for the personalized content that we are doing basically. So if you are, I usually explain it by the way, I have a daughter, she's 2.5. And if you're 2.5 and you'd like to know how to draw elephant, you have to see a lot of examples and a lot of samples of the different elephants, Dumbo from the Disney, the real elephant from the zoo, and how your mom drew the elephants, some, I don't know, Picasso pictures with the elephants, and so on and so on. And based on the combination of all these sets, you will find out how you draw your own elephant, your style, like your approach to do that. And the same for the personalized content. So we see different samples and different examples of the behavior of each player. We collect all of this, analyze it, and we found out the new like player's journey that we can deliver to the games, that would be much effective in the monetization perspective, that would be much better from the user experience side. And it's about learning first of all, right? So we have to work like in combination with the great game, because if you don't have a good gameplay, you cannot monetize it. But if you have a great game, we can see a lot of examples of the behavior of your players in the game, because you can expect one, but real people will show you that you're totally wrong, about
Yeah.
your hypothesis, how I play, and how many times per day I play. What is the duration of my session? What is my action after level win, after level lost? What I prefer to buy when I would like to do that? What is my average bill, and so on and so on. And it's like, um, when you draw elephant, you have only one parameter: how elephant looks like, But when we are talking about the personalized content, we have like hundreds of parameters that we analyze, combined it, and found out the better user journey for everyone in the game. So it's just, the simple way to explain preliminary what we are doing.
No, that helps, adds a lot of context. And it makes me think. I went to a studio recently called Game House, and they have 96% of their players are women. And most of the times in the games industry, the people making mobile games are not women in their 30s to 70 years old, but that's where most of the demographic is. And I feel like what you've just said highlights how that could really help, where the behaviors can kind of be actually extracted. And rather than trying to use our intuition, because you can't, because you're not a 50-year-old woman, to try to understand. And I think this is a way to hopefully get closer to the player, which I think is what we need, especially now. Like there's so many different games. Like if you're not completely in sync with the player, I feel like you're really going to struggle.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. And basically, our suggestions about who are our players and how they behave in the game uh, cannot be just hypothesis now. It should be lean on the big data. It should be lean on the analysis, and go more deeper than just demographical parameters or something like that, because the uh, woman that is live in MENA region, for example, will behave absolutely different from the different region. And basically, if take me and clone me and to put to another location, probably I will play by the same way, so it's not just about the demographical parameters, it's about personality. So it's very important to understand what exactly the actions inside of the game, and what exactly the decision after some particular points in the game, it's not just about high level. I mean, it's important, to have the high level understanding about your players. But the problem now on the market is that's the change for good from my point of view about the personal data and about security about that. And our world is moving to be the privacy first world. My point of view, it's really great, but it makes really the big challenge for the monetization through the ways how we did it before, based on the demographical parameters, based on the gender or location or something like that, because more than 60% of players don't want to consent with the sharing personal data now. So even if we are talking that it's good enough, to have segmentation based on the demographical parameter, that is much better than don't have segmentation from another side for sure. But it's very difficult for now to get good monetization effectiveness from this approach.
Hmm. It's interesting because what you said before, like you want to have a high level understanding to make the game, but like in today's context, there's so many games coming out, and you could have the kind of genius who's making a game based on how they like to play, and or the one where they just make 1,000 prototypes and hope one works. Like, is there something you see in maybe the games that you're looking at for the games that are doing well? I'm just curious for people listening, like they're trying to make another hit game. Like, is there anything you're seeing as a pattern in the ones that are hit games?
No, I think it's not connected. It's
Mm,
when you develop the game, you have a lot of X factors, that will help you to be the top or just go to the next prototype. Um, it's not just about the logical approach. I mean, if we are talking about the gameplay, it's about creativity a lot. But
mm,
when we are talking especially about the business side, about the monetization, by anyway, I mean, in-app purchases, ads monetization, whenever you monetize your game, this part more about the data. So the first one, when you create the game, it's more about the creativity, for sure, about the background in the industry and the knowledge in this domain and so on. And when you get the great KPIs and you see that the people love your game, it's time to go to the business part, and here you cannot ignore the trends from the high tech, and you cannot ignore that the data is the king now.
yeah, fair. So, regarding the personalization of offers, could we understand how that actually happens? So, let's say I'm doing demographic based segmentation. I want to explore AI. Like, what is AI actually doing to personalize the offers? Because I'm sure you get a lot of objections where this wouldn't work for my game or blah blah blah. But like, what is actually happening in practice?
Yeah. So basically, it's very simple.
Hmm.
We integrate to the game through the SDK. It's very easy. As we don't collect the personal data of the players, we can cover with our solution absolutely everyone in the game, 100% of the players. And our SDK will not make any blockers, for the submission to the store, because we not collect any sensitive data and any additional parameters that can be blocked by the store. So we analyze for every player in the game their preferences from the gameplay side. So, for example, you can play once a day, but with very long session. Me in the same game several times per day with the short session. The level of our
Hmm.
engagement, I mean, from the level perspective, can be absolutely different. How many levels we play per session? After level lost, I can be sad and just close the game. And you, opposite side, can be motivated to replay it. So it's very
Hmm.
important for us as well. And a lot of parameters like this, I mean, exactly the actions in the game, the interaction with the game, can say a lot about the player and about the monetization potential for this player. For sure, we look at the average bill, the right place in the game where it's more comfortable to show the offer for a particular player, about the frequency of the offers, because for someone it's okay to have just one offer per session, for someone more, for someone just one offer per day. It's very different. If you would like to keep good retention rate, and aligning it with the effective monetization, you cannot ignore the good user experience. It's not the way, to show just 10 offers every session and hope that at least one would be bought. It's just not the good user experience now. And based on the combination of these factors, we make the customization of the offer and we show some special bundle for the player with special price for this player that would be most comfortable in the place in the game that should be most effective for this player, and with smart frequency that adjusted especially for this player. And I also want to answer the question that maybe you would like to answer, because a lot of people ask me about that. A lot of games now have like really a strong community in Discord
Hmm.
chats and so on and so on, and in Facebook and some communities. And the question is that they can share the different offers, and found out that we sell the same bundle with the different price for the different
Hmm.
players, and it will like make a bad karma for the game, And we don't play with things like that. For sure, we know that the cooperation of the players, especially high tier players, especially whales, can be really on the really high level, and they can share a lot. So we not not sell the same bundle with different prices. If you understand that the for me and for you the price should be different, the bundle would be different as well. So it will not be like, we get the same, but you for $1 and I will get it for the 10. No.
Ooh, I like that. So it can be more value, but it will not be the same offer because
Yeah.
this actually, yeah, this came up in a recent conversation where you might have a lot of improvements to make to a game, but if you make too many, then the elder players you were talking about, they might be like, this is too much change, or they can start having a bit of a bad kind of community effect going on there. But it sounds like the way you're doing it, it's a bit more step by step.
Yeah, because my point of view is that we cannot split the when we are talking about the mobile game, we cannot split the different parts. To like monetization separately, the user acquisition separately, the gameplay separately, and different people manage everything, and nobody sync with other people. Because the user experience that we currently have, I mean, in the modern world that we get from the big platforms that we have on the market now, and everybody use it. I mean, the same messengers. We use Netflix, different products from the Apple, iTunes, Apple TV, and so on and so on and so on. And basically, the good user experience is first now. And in mobile gaming, we cannot ignore it because mobile game it's not just about gameplay, about cool art, about creative stuff inside of the game. It's about the user experience from the product perspective. And now the personalization of the content is the must. So we cannot ignore that. You meet it everywhere around you on all e-commerce platforms, on all entertainment platforms, everywhere. It's not just, the VIP feature or something like that. It's just the base. It's a must because we get used to get this experience. And when you come to the new digital product, doesn't matter it's website or it's mobile game or it's mobile application or something like that, it's like the thing that you expect it to have. It's
Hmm.
not anymore the I don't know, VIP subscription feature. It's just the thing that we expect it to have everywhere. And when we come to the mobile games, I think that it should be the standard on our market. But for mobile games, for sure, I see that we just open this door and we explore, I mean, together with the industry, how we can use it, how we can apply it, how we can adopt some new experience and new technologies and not break the stuff that we already have in mobile games. This like in the end of the day, the people come to enjoy. When you play the game, you just want to enjoy the game. And our goal, like the technical technical player on this market, just to support games with their high technology and give them ability to focus on the cool features to delivery new cool games. And we will do just the technical stuff on our side.
Cool. I'm curious before I move on topics. This sounds obvious now, like hearing you explain it, but like, is there a sense of how much of the industry is actually using AI right now, like in this way? Because to me, it sounds like okay, everyone should be doing it, but I don't think that's the case. Like, is it just the top games using it? Is it random? Like, can you give me a sense of scale? Like, how many people are using AI right now?
You mean in mobile game industry?
Yeah, specifically.
Yeah. So in general, if we're talking about the artificial intelligence, I think that now it's quite good used in the art domain.
Yeah.
I mean, from the mobile gaming industry, because the tools that help to make art better, faster, they're on the market quite big number of years, and it's more like people more familiar with that. If you are talking about more complex solutions, like for monetization, for the user acquisition, for the stuff like this, we are just on the first stage
Oh wow.
of this way. Yeah, because when we are talking about the analysis of the big data, and basically when we are talking about monetization, user acquisition, and all business stuff, it's exactly about analysis of the big data. You need time to train your models to be able to work exactly with mobile games. So I cannot use the same product that used for banking, for example, or for insurance, or for mobile applications, even, but in different domain, take it for the mobile game and say, okay, will analyze the behavior of my player with the same model that I can analyze behavior of the Uber users, for example. So when it comes to the data, it required more time. And the solutions like Elevatix, where we use the quite mature ML models, it's not so big list of solutions kind of that on the market, and the evolution of these products take time. So I always tell to the people from the mobile gaming industry, yes, it's possible to make in-house solution for sure. I worked like a technical product owner in the big mobile gaming companies, and I know that for sure it's possible, but you require a lot of resources to do that. So you just need to evaluate if you would like to invest several years of development training for these models to the very high quality data set that you need to train these models. Several months is from 3 to 6, depends on your DU, to train it on the live players. Any specific cases that you can meet with players while you train your ML models, and so on and so on. If you are ready to that, if you evaluate and think that, yeah, it follow your business goals, for sure, from technical perspective, that's like, it's possible. You just need to hire the good engineers to your team, and the product team that specialized in the big data. Yeah, that's true. But when we talk about the third parties on the gaming market, especially for the Elevatix, it's 3 years to our product, and for now we have really very mature ML models, and our customers can get result just during the first week after integration. But to get this result, it's not just a magic, it's not just
Yeah.
surprise. It took time to train these models, and the question is not just about timing. It doesn't work like you take a year, you train your models, and you get great result. No, you need the very high quality data set. You need the people with the great background in the mobile gaming monetization to supervise your model, and to show your model that this hypothesis is true, this not, and so on and so on. So that's the process that take time. So I think that adopted, of these technologies is not so fast as when we are talking about the artificial intelligence tools, because it requires time, because it requires the big data technologists, big data engineers, and the high quality data set. So, in combination of these factors, it cannot move very fast. But if you would like to use the third party now, I mean, today, it can bring very fast result. But if you are talking even about the state of this market year ago, it was
Hmm.
absolutely different situation. So I think
Wow.
year to year, yeah, we will make evolution faster, and to cover more and more perspectives from the monetization by the ML.
No. No, very interesting. So definitely fast evolving. And yeah, 3 years, when you mentioned 3 years, it's just aggressive. It will take a lot of time. You mentioned being a technical product owner at big social companies. I wanted to go dig in there if you don't mind. So you
Yep,
was at Playtika, I see on LinkedIn, and you was also the
that's
board
true.
member. Yeah. So what is a board member? And it says all social casino games. So what does that look like day to day?
When I came to the Playtika, I didn't have experience in mobile gaming before, honestly
Hmm.
talking. But I had really massive technical experience, and I took position of the technical product owner in Caesar's Casino. It's very big and famous social casino game. I think a lot of people who will watch this podcast maybe try at least once,
Hmm.
to play that. And My role basically wasn't about developing mobile games. My role was about implementation of the infrastructure to make development of mobile games faster, smarter, easier, and on the high level quality. And Step by step, I evaluate on my position. I mean, I bring a lot of technical experience with myself because I had great experience with the business intelligence tools before. I mean, implementing it from A to Z, and with go-to-market strategies, and so on and so on. And then, after several years, I took the position of the lead of the technical product owners in all social casino studios in Playtika. It's quite famous games in addition to the Caesar's Casino. It's Slotomania and I think the social casino that is quite famous because the DU is crazy, and the
Yeah.
revenue basically also. And based on my cooperation with the stakeholders from the business domain, I mean, from the people who are doing these games, who create this, I don't know, very impressive, art, very impressive gameplay, very impressive mathematic that is inside basically of the social casino. Because when it comes to the social casino, it's not just about creative gameplay and art, it's about the economic, it's about the great mathematic inside. I understood that we have some general problem on the market. Doesn't matter you're a huge company or you're indie developer. The problem is the change is change from technology side is not so fast like in other domains. It's like, it's fair enough because the focus of mobile games are in different aspects. It's more about the actual art, about actual gameplay, because a lot of new cool games come to the market every day, and you have to be, on the line with all these trends, and so on. But when we are talking about technology, it's not the first priority, let's say. But from the point of view of the technical product owner, basically, I think it's not so popular title in the industry, because in the gaming industry, a lot of executive producers, the product owners, it's the people who are working with the content, exactly with the games. But when it comes to the technology, it's not so popular position in the companies to have the additional technical product owner who care about your infrastructure, about your services, about architecture, and so on and so on. And from my point of view, I gave a lot of value to company because, my goal wasn't to be just the independent star. My goal was, to boost and help to other people to make the games by the better way. And it wasn't just independent trip. It was the trip about the connection with other people, understanding of their requirements, about their pains, about the pains on the market, and to address it with the right technical solution. So basically, it was, my path during the last 7 years of my career in mobile gaming, and now I continue to do the same with Elevatix.
Yeah, I'm curious. Like you mentioned, you're helping others kind of make the most. Like I'm curious for everyone at home. Like, what did you do? Because you came in without the mobile gaming background, which could be seen as like a benefit, right? Because you don't have, I guess, the preconception. So, like, what did you end up doing? Like, is there anything that people can take home today?
Yeah, as I told before, the technical stack for development of mobile games and for development some extra solutions is absolutely different. And I brought to the company with myself the experience of implementing the high tech solutions from the different domains, but very easy to adapt it for the mobile gaming to make the better performance, to make the smarter user experience, to make the better architecture on the backend side, and to improve the development process of all teams, because you understand the number of the developers that work in the big companies and the number of the teams, to make the process smoother, to make delivery process smoother, to make the integration with the app stores, with Google Play, with all third parties by the very perfect way, to be the great partnership from to build the great partnership from the technology side with third parties that we can use to boost our business, to make it smarter, faster, and to get, for sure, in the end of the day, to get the great revenue. Because even if you are working on the technology side, you have to align with the business KPIs. It's the main. You cannot do just technical improvement just for technical improvements. You have to be you have to follow the same goals, every department. And when I'm talking about the different domains now in mobile gaming, I always talk that you cannot see that your monetization department work independently. It cannot be like that. You cannot separate user acquisition, monetization,
Why?
gameplay, and so on. Because you lost just, you lost your potential. Because for example, we'll take the user acquisition and monetization, how you can connect it. I mean, not just from the hypothetical side, but in the real life. You buy some cohort of player and you have to understand how you will monetize this traffic. It shouldn't be just, prediction that probably based on these parameters the money will be good, from this cohort. Because the great goal, the general goal for the monetization and user acquisition to boost LTV and to make it as much as possible higher than CPI. That's the point that I think obvious for all of us. But you cannot do it if you split these processes. When user acquisition work by their way and monetization works by their way, when you have the segmentation that absolutely not aligned between these departments, when you buy traffic by following one rules and you monetize them by another one, when you have the approach of buying players following one parameters and then you try and monetize them based on absolutely different parameters. If you buy the traffic following the results that you get from similar cohorts in the previous period of time, so you can be smarter. You can understand, if I buy players with these parameters and I pay this price per player, I can monetize these players with this amount of the revenue in final. So you can look at the data from the previous months, for example, or previous week, depends on your game cycle, and understand which cohort would be better to monetize through the in-app purchases and which cohort better to monetize through the ads. It doesn't work like, we will monetize countries from tier 3 by ads and countries from tier 1 by in-app purchases. I mean, it works, but it's just mediocre result. It's not the best that you can get. It's not the great effectiveness that you can get from the revenue perspective from your game. So why we lose this change?
Yeah. Why? Why do you think that's happening? If that makes sense, is it difficult to merge UA with monetization team? Is there a problem that people are facing?
I don't think it's difficult from the process side, and it's absolutely not difficult just from the communication side. I think it's again we come to the technology, and
Hmm.
I think the difficulties is that we have too much different systems to control
Hmm.
everything. We have the systems for the uh, user acquisition. Then we have separate systems for the tracking effectiveness of our advertisement. Then we have separate tools to make live ops, to set up some segments, to set up some events, and so on. We have different tools for the business intelligence, where you see all dashboards and trying to find out some hypotheses. And first of all, you have a lot of tools that not integrated between each other. And in addition to that, you have the different people who look at these different dashboards and did their personal evaluation of this data and personal hypothesis. And it's very, the people factor come to the table. So from one
Yeah.
point of view, it's technology, because a lot of not integrated tools. From another point, it's people factor, because my interpretation of the data would be absolutely different from your. And
Hmm.
it's not the question who will be right. The question is it's different, and we cannot align it, because
Hmm.
your point of view is from the user acquisition perspective, for example, my point of view from the monetization. And if we invite here someone else, the point of view of this person will be absolutely different to the data. For sure, we have some standards how interpret the data, but when it comes to interpretation, means it's very personal stuff. It's very related to the people who use these dashboards and who analyze this data. And exactly because of that, I think that machine learning is the very right tool, to open this personalization door, because there is not the question about interpretation. They're really accurate analysis. It's not about my expectations from this data, and is it meet some target or not. It's not about my plans and about my forecast that built on my personal experience. It's just about the data analysis. It's not about my past experience. It's not about my expectations from the data. It's just the pure data analysis that will bring the very accurate result. It doesn't mean that we don't need the people who will check the dashboards and who will do live ops and so on. But for sure, we have a lot of cool stuff for the live ops to do. But not just to sit and analyze ton of data and spend a lot of time for that.
Hmm. No, it makes sense, and I can see that challenge. Like if people have not only different dashboards, but then also the same person would be different
Sure.
perspective of the data. Yeah, like, it would be difficult. I want to go into just some founder advice, if you don't mind, because I've recently started a business. You've been a founder for a long time. So, in terms of founding Elevatix, you said it was an accidental. but now you have your own team. What is one thing you'd say to Ksenia on day one that you wish she knew?
Honestly talking, for sure, I'm not the most mature founder on the mobile gaming market and from technology tools, especially. And yes, it's my first entrepreneurship experience. And looking back to the days when I started that, the only thing that I want to tell is just, be brave and you're doing the right thing.
Hmm.
Because when you believe in your goal and when you do it not just for the revenue generation but for bringing value to the industry, when you believe that you can bring this value, it will be success. Because when you make your business not just for yourself but for the people, and your goal is to help people and really to boost their business, you will get great adoption. That's for sure. And it was my doubts, on the start, that it's a little bit naive, to build your business. Just believe that you will bring great value, that you have to build the business model and so on. For sure, it's very important, the business part and the entrepreneurship skills and the great business model and so on and so on. But it's not the base, the best factor that will bring success to you. It's bring the best value that you can to other people and make it with the great motivation.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that purpose driven business, right? But then
Yeah.
purpose drives profit eventually anyway. So you might as well do it the way that makes you feel better. So, and that is purpose.
Yeah, I always say that I'm doing my business based on the karma rules, based on the good karma philosophy. That when you care about other people first, uh, you'll get same to your side. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I'm trying to do
exactly.
it every day, in everything, including Elevatix. And when I'm implementing some new feature, I think about the value not just from the product owner perspective, for sure, from the product owner perspective as well. Yeah, but from the motivation that it will help to people, it will help to not just earn money, but to it will help to the players to get more more fun from the game, and it we will bring just win-win system to the market when mobile gaming studios win from the revenue perspective and the players win from the great user experience perspective, and we win also.
Yeah, exactly. I think give, 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 and then it comes back. And like you said, it
Sure.
feels better as well. Perfect. So, in terms of personally, like you're building Elevatix, like what's driving you here? Like, what's the purpose? Why are you, what gets you up in the morning? I know it's a very deep question, but I'm curious.
So here is several parts basically. For sure, it's about my personal realization from the business perspective because I'm a woman in the business, I'm a woman in technology, and I'm a woman in the gaming, and it's quite interesting way, I would say. And for myself, the success that we get with Elevatix, for sure, it's also my success and some testimonials, of uh, my rules, my beliefness, my values, and so on that I had personally in my life. From another point of view, for sure, my motivation is to, as we talked before, right, about the bringing value to mobile gaming. I have a lot of friends and big networking from the mobile gaming market, and sometimes I hear, some troubles, especially after IDFA World and so on and so on. On all conferences, we talk about that, and I thought, okay, guys, you're busy with the games. Maybe I will come and just address this thing for you, and you will be happy.
Yeah,
No, that's true because I understand that it's very difficult to change the technological stack for the mobile gaming developers to switch and trying to find out some new solution that will address the IDFA and GDPR stuff that we currently faced in the mobile gaming as well as in other mobile applications world. And I just knew how to address it. Why not? so I can I can address the problem that is the pain point for a lot of people. That's the, I don't know, if you have all resources to do that, why not? Why you don't do it now?
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's a big driver. Yeah, I resonate with that because people. I did an event in Barcelona, and people were saying, "Oh, there's been no event in Barcelona for a year." And these are people with resources, money, but it was just no one had the mental energy to actually just do what everyone was saying. And I feel like it just takes that one person to be like, all right, I'll do it. And then everyone's like, yay. And it's just someone needs to do it, right? And then now that I've started and they said, oh, when's the next one? And I was like, oh, okay, I've I've bought myself a job now because it's you need that someone to, I guess, go and then just do the thing, right?
Yeah. Basically, I believe that everyone has to do what you can do by the best way. You're
Mm,
great in your stuff. The people who are doing mobile games are great in mobile games. I will not be so good in developing mobile games like a lot of people on this market, but I'm great in technology. So I will just do that. I don't think that the people who are doing development of mobile games have to switch to some other mindset or to some other technology stack just to follow the actual state of the market. No, they just need to concentrate on the things that they can do by the best way. Why not? All of us expected, new cool games in App Store and so on. So why they have to change focus? That's great. They have to follow their way, but I will follow mine and just bring the value for these people. That's it.
perfect. Yeah. Specializing, right? Um, I want to take this to like literally yesterday, this whole week, there's been a lot of layoffs, and I asked this to everyone: is what would you say to young people now, specifically in the games industry, but also in general? Because I feel like the specialization word comes up quite a bit when it comes to like finding a new job. I'm curious, what's your take on this? Like, what would you say to young people?
The first advice when usually I give to the students or to trainee people who I meet, uh, please get education, learn new stuff every day. If you finish your degree, just get new courses, read new books, get new information from the LinkedIn, from the top guy from the industry. Just learn every day, develop yourself. You cannot focus just on the career because you will lost yourself and you will not get the position that you would like, because when you come to that point, you will even not remember why you would like to get this position, because you are too busy with this like very straight way to the point that you see now. Because the point when you're in the point A today and you're trying to figure out the point B, it's absolutely, you cannot be sure that in maybe 2 months your expected point B would be the same. So
Mm.
just reevaluate your willings, reevaluate your goals, and to make it by the right way, you have to open your mind. You have to learn new stuff. You have to connect with new people who can share experience, share some interesting knowledge, not just from the mobile gaming industry, just around the world, around the cross industry. Sharing that can be empower you like a specialist on your way. Yeah, so that's the rule that I keep for myself. I mean, still, I'm 36, but I'm still, the permanent student, let's say, because I always learn to do something. I have a lot of courses, a lot of conferences where I really like to hear some great talks from the speakers and to talk, in the coffee room and so on. And that's especially, I understand that for myself, it's one from my X factor basically. And I really
Mm.
believe that without continuous learning and continuous improvement yourself, like personality, like professional in your sphere, it will not work. So don't give up and find the new course.
Yeah, and I think that's very good advice in the sense of a lot of people maybe focus too much on just getting that interview and they kind of neglect the learning part. Because if you're looking for an interview for 3 months and then you don't have the job, what do you talk about for those 3 months? So I think having that balance is really, really key.
Yeah.
Uh, you mentioned you doing courses. Is there anything specific that you're up to right now? Like, what are you learning now?
So basically, I'm waiting for the start of my one more machine learning courses from the MIT.
Nice.
And now, yeah, and now I pass and finalize some courses from the entrepreneurship perspective to, yeah, to boost myself like founder of the Elevatix, because I have a lot of hats, from
Yeah.
one point of view, I am the founder of startup. From another point of view, I am the technical engineer. From another point of view, I am the product manager and product owner for mobile gaming. So I have a lot of stuff to learn. I have a lot of things, to get. And basically, thanks to LinkedIn, it's quite easy now, because when you follow the top leaders from the industry and top voices, you can get a lot of very actual information from their blogs.
Nice. Any favorites that you follow?
Um, I'm bad to remember the names. Sorry.
It's all right. We remember the insight. But I wanted
Yeah.
to actually ask. I was going to ask you the because you wear many hats, and I'm kind of going through that myself as well. Because I have event manager Harry, I have the writer, I have the networker, podcast host now, and there's a lot of different things. And you seem very good. Like when I hear you talk about how you're doing the learning and you kind of you're very disciplined. I feel when it comes to making sure you do everything. How do you do that? Like, how do you make sure, like, in a week, you're, I guess, checking off each hat?
Honestly talking, I'm always trying to improve this way. So I cannot say that I have the advice that, will answer to this question, because a lot of people in the industry meet these challenges,
A
when
lot
you
of
have
people have it, yeah.
yeah, when you have to balance not just work and life, but you have to balance a lot of roles inside of your work, especially when you're founder. That's very actual point. What I'm trying to do now, I try to make my schedule for a week. I mean, not just from the calendar side, but from the sense and from the value for every day. So, for example, just an example, right? So I have the Creative Friday, when I just block the time in my calendar and unlimited, without no breaks, no messengers, no some. Outcomes, to myself. I sit and
Hmm.
creative and working like on the create new features for the product. So it's the creative time, let's say Creative Friday. On Wednesday, for example, I am the entrepreneur, so I'm working with the venture funds. I work on the materials that I need for the fundraising, and so on and so on. I'm working on the communication with our customers and all stuff like this. Today, for example, our meeting is exclusion, but basically the day is dedicated to the business stuff, to the banking, to hiring processes, to recruitment, and so on and so on. I mean, it doesn't mean that I don't switch to other tasks during my day, but it's the main, the main focus of my day. And when I wake up from the morning, I know that okay, today I will be dedicated to this domain, to this sphere of my
Hmm.
business. And basically, for myself, I'm the person that mentally needs to have a schedule. It gives me more stability in my life. So even if I have this high level dedication of every day to some particular point in my business, it makes me feel more stable, and feels that looks like I can control that.
Yeah. I think it gives you that structure. I think my problem is doing that while traveling because I got into a nice rhythm and then you go a trip somewhere, you come back and you got these meetings and you're like, you're just trying to get it back together. Um,
Yeah. But you need to have a great team to start make delegation while you're traveling.
mhm. Yes, there you go.
It helped
Which is
basically
something
for
I,
myself. I mean,
yeah, exactly. So that's something I can kind of work on. Amazing. I want to close off with a little cute final question, which I have here. So, what is something that you feel like is like a tip that could save them about 5 minutes a day? I know it's a very random question, but what is a tip that you do that saves time?
it's not a tips for every day, but it's more general rules. So first of all, I have the calendar. I have a schedule. and I follow the schedule. That is very important.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, and also I have some rules about the meetings that I schedule. So I don't like to waste my time and especially time of my team to get the sessions 1 2 hours, and when everyone gets so tired that cannot work after that. So I'm really careful about the timing of the meetings and about the format of my communication. If I work with someone through the messenger from my team, I never will send the messages kind of, "Hi, how are you? Let's talk about weather. Let's talk about something and something and something," because I know that in my team, the people are from the very serious professions, kind of ML engineers, the engineers that build backend and so on and so on, and they are not about the small talks. So I try to customize my communication to the people who
Hmm.
are talk, to make it more effective, to make it more faster, and to get result faster, and not to waste the time of other people. Again, we are talking about the what you would like to get to yourself, first give to another. So I'm really respect the time of other people, and I hope that it will work for myself also. I mean that other people don't want to waste my time. So have a schedule, follow it. Have the rules about the timing of your meetings, and don't have the spontaneous call with everyone from your team just to sit together on the meeting. And to keep the right format of communication depends on the person, depends on the culture, because we're like a remote team and people live in different locations with different culture, with different roles, and so on and so on. So you have to adjust, and it will really save your time, because I think that we're not enough understand how much time we spend for the no sense conversations. That's true.
Hmm.
And for sure, the last but not least, I don't use social networks, only LinkedIn, because I found
Hmm.
out preliminary 6 months ago. I found out that the amount of the hours that I spend in the social networks just to read some content is just the time that I can spend for very valuable thing in my life. It's not just for the work. I have a lot of interesting things to do in the real life. And basically my communication with the people in the real life becomes uh much more better, and I got so like impressive conversation with the people, because they're not supposed that you know everything about this person through the stories in Instagram, and they will
Hmm.
tell you more with emotions, with the with all things that they would like to share with you, not just the beautiful picture. So it was very right decision in my life to just skip social networks at all, just LinkedIn.
Yeah. No, I like that. I guess halfway there. I used to spend more time on Instagram. I spend less now. And yeah, I think 100%. I did that test myself where I go to digital well-being and on the app and it says how much time you spend every day. And then you're like, just like, no, I can't be doing this. And yeah, replace everything with LinkedIn, which makes sense. Amazing. Ksenia, where can people find you? And I'm going to ask this in two ways. Like, are you going to any events soon that people could maybe say hello?
Yeah, so I will be in Helsinki from 17 till 20 of October, so we can meet
Amazing.
there. After that, we will have the conference, gaming conference in Abu Dhabi, so we can meet there from 21 to 22. And after that, I hope that I will stay in Dubai finally, and I will not have a lot of trips till the end of the year. So if people of someone come to Dubai, really happy to meet for the network, and to help you explore the city. Even it's not just about the business.
Amazing. That's super nice. And how can people get in touch? What's the best way?
Through the LinkedIn, and through our website elevatix.io.
Amazing. Ksenia, thank you so much. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you too.
Bye, everyone.